Galimera, Galimera, Galimera. Good morning, good morning, good morning. As you can see, it's a beautiful day this morning. And again, after yesterday's drama of all the little chickens all looked like they died, of which two had died, we had, as somebody points out, the resurrection. And if you look now, you can see the mummy hen from yesterday she's actually got 5 chicks. We did count 6 earlier, but I think she may have lost another one during the night. But anyway, there's mummy there. I'm so pleased that they all just revived in the hot sun. Thank you to those people who were sending us tips and that yesterday online reference chicken management. It was quite sweet, actually. One thing just to point out, the chickens literally are free range, and normally what they do at night is they go up into the trees. They have their little hidey dens as well. And some of these olive trees that you see are actually hollow inside, and they have little areas that they go into at night to take their chicks in. So again, thank you for those people who are saying, oh, you want to get some boxes and stuff like that, which, yeah, if they were normal chickens in somebody's confined area, you probably could do that. But here, they literally are free range. Anyway, mummy's still doing a grand job looking after them, and they are looking absolutely fantastic this morning. And you can see them all there, absolutely looking fantastic and brilliant. Right, so there you go. Weather today, I can see Amanda's just sent me a long little message, but I can't see it at the moment because the sun is in my eyes. It is a glorious day. It is so warm in the sun. It's unbelievable. It's absolutely fantastic. Oh yeah, looking down towards Laguna and also Kalamaki in that direction, it's looking absolutely lovely. Little bit of funny cloud in the sky, but nothing serious. The sun is burning off what cloud there is. And we look up over towards Sillavi in that direction, and again it is looking clear-ish blue skies with a sort of a cloud base, but I think that will all get burned off as well. So all in all, for this weekend, it looks like it's going to be absolutely glorious. And again, here comes mummy with her little chicks just coming down the fence line. There you go. You can really just feel like Easter. Don't forget, next weekend, it will be Easter next weekend, the end of the month. And there you are, the Easter chicks. Look at them. They're little cuties. Right, let's crack on with the news and tell you what's been going on within the last 24 hours. Thank you for those people who've been getting in touch as well in the last 24 hours as well, over certain incidents and stuff like that. Thank you for that. I do appreciate that. I'm just going to switch the screen round. And there we go, back on the screen. Right, let's give you the news in the last 24 hours for Greece, what's been happening. And here we go. Right, day 168 of the lockdown, 23rd of April. It's a Friday, so it's a busy day. The weekend is upon us. COVID in the last 24 hours. Well, to be honest, the actual epidemiology data across Greece is actually looking up at the moment. At the moment, we have had 2,759 new infection in the last 24 hours, which is down on the previous day, which was 3,015. That brings the grand total at the moment up to 326,395 since the pandemic started. There's been 2 new cases identified at ports of entry into the country, which is also down from the day before, where we had 14. According to the national stats then at the moment, there's been 1 new case in Macardo, there's been 2 new cases in Kefalonia, 4 new cases in Corfu, and 1 case on Zakynthos. Locally reported at the moment, I can't find any cases being locally reported here on the island. So at the moment then, we are still in the position, as far as we're aware, that there are 3 people in ICU in the hospital, and there is also 13 people in the COVID clinic. We've not had any change of status on that. When it comes to deaths at the moment across the country, deaths at the moment are down as well. We did report 86 deaths the other report, but today we can report there's been 75 new deaths. So at least that's taking a downward direction. That means we've got, since the pandemic started, we've had 9,788 people have passed away due to COVID. 96% of those had underlying health problems or were over the age of 70. Once again, if you just remind those people who are not aware, we have had one death this week on Zakynthos, and that was a 65-year-old man who passed away yesterday. So at the moment, the death toll for Zakynthos since the pandemic started has been 8 people through the whole of the pandemic. Anyway, when it comes to critical cases at the moment in ICUs across the country, they are down as well at the moment, which is great. At the moment, last time I reported to you that there were 831 people in ICUs across Greece. The number now is down to 822. Remember, the amount of beds that Greece has to be able to deal with people in incubation is 900 beds across the country. So again, the number is dropping down from that 900 ceiling level, which is showing that things are moving in the right direction. For those people that are in incubation at the moment, it's 516 male and 306 female. Right, the news for today then. By Sunday, April the 25th, the category of employees who are required to take the self-test test must declare the result on the online platform. And that online result is supportemployees.gov.gr. And from the beginning of next week, if people are found that they haven't done their self-testing, then employers and the employees could also find themselves in trouble if they are checked and found to be positive, or they haven't actually posted an actual result as to their state of health. Just to remind you that this covers people in the retail sectors working in shops. It also covers people working in catering. It also covers people in financial and insurance activities as well, cleaning activities. Also, if you work in a betting shop or you're involved with gambling, you'll also have to self-test. And also other service personnel, including hairdressers, barbershops and beauty salons, you are also having to make sure that you are self-tested and that you post your results on that platform. It's also worth noting that the president of the Association of Pharmacists, he's also saying that there is a provision for free tests done normally without any problems for employees in the private sector. So if you work in the private sector, there's no problem with you getting your free self-test kits from your local pharmacies. However, he says there has been some problems with employees in the public sector. He's not exactly saying what these problems are, whether it's a case of with public sector employees, there is provisions being made for them to be basically checked at work. I'm not 100% sure on that, but he said there has been problems with employees in the public sector and also with employers who are self-employed basically as well. He's not really highlighted what these problems are, but one thing that he did note was that there is sufficient self-test kits in the pharmacies of the island to meet all existing needs. And he said something that needs to be known as well is that pharmacies on Zakynthos also have self-test kits available, which can be bought by any citizen who wishes to purchase one. Also, he said, finally, pharmacies are continuing to schedule appointments for vaccinations of citizens, both in the hospital, where there are already 2 vaccination lines, one for Pfizer and the other for AstraZeneca, and also in the health centre, which will be operating soon, a second vaccination line, which will be giving you the Pfizer vaccine. But according to Mr. Vitsos, the appointments for vaccinations are now closed until the month of June. Now, whether he means that is people who were due to have vaccinations in June, the platforms are now closed. He's not made that very clear. So my advice to you is, if you're not sure, go to your local pharmacy if you live here on the island and ask them if they are still taking bookings for the group that you wish to basically take up the free vaccination if you want the free vaccination. So again, things are looking positive on that score with the island of Zakynthos, and as we get close to the holiday season of Easter, which is literally next weekend. Anyway, according to the European Centre for Disease Prevention and Control weekly COVID-19 map, Greece appears to be performing well in terms of testing and the positivity rates compared to the rest of Europe. Despite the country's increased coronavirus numbers, Greece is one of the very few green countries on the Europe's COVID-19 map, indicating a weekly positivity rate of under 4%. And what's more, Greece is only a small number of countries, including Cyprus, Norway, Denmark, Austria, Ireland and Iceland, that are in what they call the completely green area or the dark green area, which means they are safe. All right. Now, the rest of Europe at the moment is in orange, indicating that they have a weekly positive rate of over 4%. As shown in the maps, which are released each Thursday and outline the general epidemiology situation across Europe, Greece is performing in the top category in the terms of testing and also positivity rates as well. Greece's testing rates have also been above average in comparison with the country's European counterparts. Over 5,000 COVID-19 tests per 100,000 residents were conducted in the country in the past week, making Greece one of the few countries with the dark green distinction, along with Cyprus. Anyway, the majority of Europe is in the lighter shade of green, designating that the testing rate is between 1,000 to 2,499 per 100,000 people in the last week. Now, I have got a picture here of the map as I'm desperately trying to get my mouse to scroll. Come on, mouse, work for me, baby. Can't see it now. Come on, where have you gone? Oh, there you go. I'm just trying to scroll it down. Oh, come on. Oh, I do apologise for this. Come on. Ah, there we go. And yep, I'll just quickly switch that round. I've got to be honest, the colour of the map has changed since yesterday. But if you can just see that, Greece is obviously over here. We're in a supposedly a darker colour of green. You can see the rest of green around Europe. These other areas that are in red, obviously Portugal is in there. They're not included. UK as well, obviously showing that it is, we're technically not part of Europe anymore, but Ireland is obviously in the green there as well. And Cyprus, again, over there, again, I don't know if you're seeing the colours of that, but yeah, we are looking actually very, very good at the moment in regards to the map. Anyway, let's quickly go back. Also, as well, interestingly, at the moment, the president of Syriza, they're like the main opposition party, Alex Tsipras, also former prime minister when Syriza were in power. He's actually harshly criticised the Greek government at the moment in a video that he posted on Facebook, which asked a series of questions to the prime minister about the lifting of the restrictive measures after Easter. Now, the president of Syriza stated that after 6 months of a failed lockdown and the week that the country holds the negative record of deaths per million population across Europe, Mr. Mitsotakis decides to go out and tell us that he has succeeded. Anyway, with a record incubated inside and outside the ICU, he decided to tell us that the National Health Service here in Greece, which did not support, but it endured. With only 7% of the population vaccinated, he decided to tell us that the vast majority of those incubated had not been vaccinated, as if they could have a choice and they could choose to do it, he was making out that they chose not to do it, which I think is a bit of not a nice comment, actually, about Mitsotakis. Anyway, and he finally decided to let us know that we are losing yet another Easter and winning the summer. And he forgot to tell us that we are losing it because of him. Anyway, and he also put some questions towards the Prime Minister, which were based on what epidemiology data, what he cannot decide for today, decides in advance, and then decides to announce it after Easter. On the basis of what data is the opening of the outdoor restaurant not applied for today, but from Easter Monday, leaving another 10 days for crowding in squares. Now, one thing that has been going on at the moment, which I haven't reported on, there's been kind of civil disobedience up in Athens, where certain squares within Athens have been occupied by students, have been occupied by people, and basically had little open air parties have been going on there as well. And I think basically what Tsipras is saying is that, well, if things are so good at the moment, then why not, instead of closing everything down, why not allow things to reopen for Easter? And also for the fact, why not let restaurants and businesses also be allowed to open, even if they're opening with outside service only, let them be open, because again, you're having another 10 days of restrictive practices where in fact things for a lot of people feel we're safe enough as it is now. Let's get out. Let's have a proper Easter before, again, those of us that return to work will return to work. And he said as well, as part of his thingy, and on the basis of what data does he keep the SMS nonsense going when you want to go out for a walk, which again is why has there been no mention about lifting of the SMS texting, where everybody's movements are monitored, whether they leave the house or not. He's saying, well, quite rightly so, you could actually start to ease the restrictions on that as well. He also says as well, Mr. Mitsotakis is now tired of his contradictions and self-denials. No matter how many sermons he utters, his citizens have already turned their backs on him, and they accuse him that for another Easter they are deprived of their freedom because of his trial of incompetence and carelessness. So there you go, some harsh words there from the opposition, a proper opposition, shall we say, to what's been going on with Mitsotakis' handling of the crisis. Anyway, interestingly enough, the United States State Department added at least another 116 countries this week to its level 4 do not travel advisory list. And that also includes Greece. We're on the step there with the Americans. Greece, the UK, Canada, France, Israel, Mexico, Germany, and others citing very high level COVID-19 infections, which, to be honest, isn't totally true. I think the Americans have got that wrong there. Greece has got one of the lowest rates of infection in comparison to a lot of other nations. We've had the lowest death rate, and also our vaccination program has also gone reasonably well as well, when you consider all the obstacles that have been put in the way by the EU. So I think that's rather unfair that the Americans have now decided that Greece is unsafe, all right? Anyway, on Monday, the State Department had signalled that it would increase the number of countries receiving its highest advisory rating of level 4 to about 80% of the countries around the globe. Anyway, Reuters reported before the end of the day on Tuesday, the State Department had added 34 out of 200 countries worldwide in its do not travel list. However, the State Department now lists a total of 150 countries with level 4 advisory that officials from the department decided to say when the updates would be, but the department decided to say when the updates would be completed. On Wednesday, the White House announced that it would surpass its goal to administer 200 million coronavirus inoculations by the end of the first 100 days of Biden's administration. Now, just over half of the American populace of approximately 320 million individuals has received at least one dose of the corona vaccine. Now, it's interesting that we were banking on Americans here in Greece, especially with the cruise industry. A lot of preparations had been getting ready for American tourism. We also thought after Trump's departure, where Trump's people were in and out all the time, especially with the issues with Turkey, that somehow, Greece was going to kind of be one of back in the fold. It is one of the most popular destinations that Americans want to visit. That is for sure, especially within the tourism industry. Now, at the moment, the American government is, shall we say, stepping back, and is saying that Greece now, technically, as Cyprus and as the UK, are unsafe places to travel to, which again, I strongly disagree with that statement. It's one place that is a very unsafe place to go to at the moment, and literally within the few minutes before coming on air, India is reeling from dramatic increase of COVID-19 within its country, with 314,000 new infections and 2,014 deaths recorded just yesterday, both daily world records since the start of the pandemic. The country's total cases are now near to 16 million, second only to the US, which stands at just under 32 million. There is a real fear for the country's health system, which may collapse under pressure. And literally, as I came on, the UK had put India into its red listing for countries that they're advising you will not be able to go and visit once they release the restrictions on travel in the UK. Anyway, a bit of good news is this. The low-cost airline Ryanair announced yesterday new connections to Corfu and Zakynthos for this summer. Especially for Zakynthos, because we've got flights from Celeru, which is the airport in Brussels, and those flights are going to start on the 1st of July and run through to the 28th of October, and there'll be one flight a week, and that will be every Thursday. So Ryanair still, as always, flying from Brussels here to Zakynthos. Normally their flights start quite early, so again, with them hedging their bets and starting in July, I know what the people that they bring, it's not a many, but it's another destination which is being serviced here to Zakynthos. So again, it's good to see Ryanair still continuing that operation. The thing we were all hoping for was Ryanair from the UK, and again, at the moment, that is still yet to see what the finalisation is with their programme for that, because it's been a little bit stop and starty, all because the British government is still holding out with their final announcement that everybody will be able to travel as of the 12th of May. So again, we will wait and see anyway. Another bit of finally news is this. A Greek pilot from Crete has been recognised as NATO's best warrior for 2020, bringing the prestigious award to the Greek Air Force for the second consecutive year. Squadron leader Astonis Arikatis, currently serving in Greece's famed 340 Fox Squadron, was voted by NATO colleagues who participated in the latest TLP air training series as a person they would most trust to lead them into battle. Now, the Fox, the historical squadron, which was founded in 1953, operates out of the military base on Crete, which is in Suda Bay. Now, this is the second year in a row that a pilot from Greece's Air Force has earned the title, which is awarded at the conclusion of the annual multinational tactical leadership program at Los Alamos Air Base in in Albacete, Spain. Anyway, NATO's best warrior for the year 2019 was also a Greek pilot, Flight Lieutenant Vasilis Kontopoulos, who was from 337 Squadron of the 110 Wing Battalion in Lycia. Anyway, the multinational military exercise, Ikonos, which was hosted by Greece, will come to its conclusion today after 10 days of operations. Armed forces elements from Greece, the US, Canada, Cyprus, France, Israel, Slovenia, Spain, and the United Arab Emirates are all participating in the exercise, while officials from Austria, Egypt, Jordan, Romania, and Slovenia are attending as observers. Anyway, the Inchos military exercise was first conducted in the late 1980s as a small-scale tactical level exercise tailored to the contemporary necessity for training in combined air operations in accordance with Hellenic Air Force doctrine. Well, at the moment, the only thing I cannot see is, where is the Royal Air Force? Where's Britain? Why are we not in this exercise? Oh, I got it. Maybe Boris wants us to social distance and we weren't allowed to attend. But anyway, that's by the by. Well done, Greece. Well done, the Hellenic Air Force. Nice to see. Anyway, right, let's have a quick look, see who's tuning in at the moment. I see lots of people are talking about the weather, which is really, really nice. And Teresa Ann Huggett is watching. Nice to see you, my lovely. Andrew Patrick Venels is also watching as well. Emma Marku is also watching as well. Natalia Rachmanalevov. Is that a Russian name? I'm not sure. But anyway, thank you for tuning in, Natalia. I don't know where you're from. You seem to be a new visitor to my channel. But again, thank you for that. I shall keep a lookout for you on Facebook. Anyway, Amanda Gregory is watching. Steve Henkling says, good morning. Good job. You didn't bury them. Do you know what? I'm thinking the same. I'm so pleased that as soon as I finished the broadcast, because I really wanted the landlord to have a look at them before actually going to bury them. And in the end, the two that had passed, we didn't bury them. We just put them down at the side, out of the way somewhere. Fingers crossed that maybe they were just in a much deeper coma than the others and they may suddenly raise themselves. But unfortunately, they didn't. But I'm so pleased that they did come to life. I'm so happy about that. And anyway, Amanda Gregory says, good morning, Ginger. A variable cloud with some sunshine, possible showers. Oh, possible showers later today. High of 20 degrees, will feel like 22. Yellow warning for strong winds over the weekend. Have a good day. Cheers for that, my lovely. Love your weather reports. Wiggy Winstanley from Cyprus is tuning in as well. Nice to see you. Amanda Gregory is also tuning in. Wendy Norcliffe is tuning in as well. Julie White says, another hot day here again. Oh, bless you. Tim Crystal says, morning, buddy. Tagged that story from Cyprus, Danielle Rogers' best friend. I saw that story last night and I did look at it. I didn't put it in the news because I had a lot of other stuff to go in. But once again, just to let those people know, a story came to light yesterday. It's in the Daily Mail at the moment, of a friend of Danielle Rogers, one of our entertainers here, our Lady Gaga, our Amy Winehouse, and also Pretty Girls Entertainment. Her friend, she's known for many, many years, who is a business owner in Paphos in Cyprus. She was arrested because she criticised the mayor of Paphos's job in regards to some works that will be done around car parks in Paphos, and basically it was strangling her business because people couldn't park, people couldn't get close. Anyway, she put a public post up on Facebook complaining about the mayor and also basically saying that he was useless at his job. Well, lo and behold, the mayor took exception to that. The mayor then reported her comments to the police. The woman was then arrested, taken into police custody, where she was told that if she signs an apology and posts it publicly, all charges would be dropped. The lady went ahead, done as she was asked to do, saying that she'd, out of a fit of temper, had said what she said and posted it publicly, wrote a written apology, and then guess what? Charges at the moment are still going to stand. She's classed with defamation of character, slander, and also basically threatening behaviour towards the mayor of Paphos. So again, I think of some of the things I've said about our mayor here and I have not yet had any knock on the door from the local police. I've not had any problems with it. And wherever the mayor's done a good job, I've said he's been right. And in areas where I think he's been wrong, I've said he's wrong. But on the whole, again, it's this, you say something and then somebody takes offence to what you say, even though it might be true. It's this dark side. And also what you've got to look at as well, I look at the history of Cyprus and I look at what's gone on in Cyprus. And the fact is that there's a lot more issues just besides what's been said about the mayor. Trust me, Cyprus can be just as corrupt as Greece can be. However, the Cypriots are normally a lot better at doing the corruption, in my experience, than what the Greeks do it. It is a very, very dodgy, and it has happened here. It has happened once here in the past. I'm not going to say who it was, but somebody, and those people who live on the island will remember this person. They'd actually called out the mayor, not the present mayor we've got, but the mayor before, about issues in the area where they were, which weren't being addressed. Next thing you know, the tax office goes into their business. They take all their books away. They then forensically analysed their books, and then they were told they owed some ludicrous amount of money over some little tiny law which nobody was aware of, and they had to pay 5,000 euros to the taxman. Now, the thing was, the mayor then got back in touch with the individual and said, "You ever say anything about me again, the tax office will come again, and I'll guarantee they will find something again." So again, you have to walk a very fine line in what you say and in what you do. And I really do feel sorry for this woman. The good thing about it is that she's got national British press coverage about what has gone on, and we will wait and see how that pans out. But again, it's the issue of free speech. And also, this man was elected, okay, to do a job by his constituency. And if he's not doing his job and he's being called out about the deficiencies in his job, well, then that is your right as a citizen, the same as with our MPs in the UK, with our MPs in Europe, with your local councillors in the UK, with your local councillors here even. If they're not doing a good job and you call them out about it, and you can rationally explain where the deficiencies are, what's going wrong, then obviously you should be allowed to air those in politics, because people will either agree or disagree with you. It's only those that are trying to hide something that are going to be the ones that are going to shut you down, because they don't want further investigation on whatever it is that you may have an issue with. So once again, I'll keep an eye on that story, and thank you, Danielle, for bringing it to my attention, also for Tim also for bringing it to my attention, and we'll just see how it plays out. And once again, I do feel sorry for this lady. She's only about she's about 30 odd years of age. She's run a business. Her and her husband work very hard. They also have children as well. And having this sword of Damocles hanging over your head, and also putting your hand up and saying, all right, I may have spoken out of turn and I've now given you your apology. It just proves that there are some people who have power who are determined to hang on to it. They will not listen to criticism. They will not listen. And of course, all they're doing is trying to defend themselves. And I know what the excuse will be. You're British. You shouldn't be here. That will probably be at the back of it as well, somewhere hidden away in his argument. But anyway, that's by the way. And I've lived in Cyprus for 9.5 years. I know the way the Cypriots think. I know the way that island was destroyed as well, financially, through greed. And again, it still hasn't properly recovered. And yeah, a lot of questionable practices, again, when the money was good. But anyway, We'll wait and see what happens there anyway. Anyway, thank you for that. Anyway, Ian Daly is also watching as well. Lyndon is watching. Teresa Ann Huggett says, good morning. Tim Crystal says, good morning to Lyndon. Hope you're well. Dean Parler is also watching. Andy Johnson is watching. Dave Byrne says, morning, GC. Thank you very much, Dave. I hope you're all going to have a good show today on air on the Workers' Reunion. Rainer Pete Dillon is also watching. Mike Lattenley is watching as well. He says, morning, Ginge. Danielle Rogers says, morning, Ginge as well. Nice to have you looking at as well, Danielle. Mike Lattenley is tuning in again. Dave Matthews is watching. Mark Anthony Tedding says, good morning. How is life over there in the UK for you? You're in the Brighton area, aren't you? And Mark, I can't remember which area you're in. But anyway, hope the weather's good. He's our Elton John, by the way. Dave Matthews says, good morning. How are the chicks? Well, we've seen the chicks earlier on in the broadcast. They seem to be doing all right. We just still cannot get over just how they magically resurrected themselves once the sun had come up. Bless them. Anyway, Mark Anthony Teddin says, morning, Tim. Alan Woodhouse is watching. Tim Crystal says, morning, Mark. Gav Kitchen, Raffridge Buddies tuning in. Nice to see you, mate. Nick Haviland is also tuning in. Danielle replied to Tim. Anyway, I'll let them talk to each other. Mark Anthony Teddin is looking in. Wiggy Winstanley in Cyprus says this. I thought the law states you cannot be executed twice for the same offence. Then why was Christ crucified 2 weeks ago in the UK and next week he'll be crucified again in Greece? It's all to do with the dates, Wiggy, all right? It's all to do with the gate. Trust me, he only did it once, all right? It's just that, again, the two churches, the Orthodox Church, the Catholic Church, can't just quite... Do you know what the interesting thing about that is that you would like... there was a united issue a few years ago. One of, I think it was Pope Francis, actually said he'd like to put Easter in the Catholic Church in with Easter in the Orthodox Church to show a kind of Christian unity, especially when you look at Muslim religion, which is all very together in certain respects, whereas the Christian religions are all kind of fragmented. And he said by having the Orthodox and the Catholic together in on the same date, it would show a kind of a unity. But anyway, that hasn't happened. We will see. And it would also make things a bit more convenient, wouldn't it? We'd all know that Easter is going to be on this date or whatever, or we're going to stick with one calendar and it would all be on the same. So anyway, thank you for that, Wiggy. I take it you are looking forward to Easter over in Cyprus, which obviously will be the Orthodox Easter, the same as us next week as well. Anyway, Amanda Gregory says, morning, hun. They're all chatting to each other at the moment. Lyndon says, I'm good, thanks. How are you feeling? Any better? Will Bland is tuning in as well. Dave Coldwell over the United States is also tuning in. Nice to see you. They're still talking away to each other. Anyway, listen, I'm going to have to go now. Once again, today's a busy day for Jane and I. One, it's our annual pilgrimage to Lidl to do shopping this week. Also, as well, I've got my live request and inspiration show going out at 3 o'clock your time, 5 o'clock my time. And then this week, I should still be having my dance anthem show going out straight after my live show, which is 5 o'clock your time in UK until 7 o'clock. However, because of changes to the broadcasting at Beats Radio, my show may be moved to a later time slot. I'm still waiting for confirmation from Ben on Beats Radio as to whether it's been shifted to a later slot, because there's a drive time show that goes out, and a very good drive time show as well. I was listening to it yesterday with Dave Shazam. Want all the information on the roads, traffic, travel in the UK, Beats Radio. Tune into that on your MyTuner app, and you can listen to it while you're driving about and get. It's called the 80s Drive Time, and it was a really, really good show. So again, I'm not 100% sure about my show, whether it's going out a little bit later because of that. He'll obviously tell me through the day, and I'll obviously put something up online. Right, that's it from me. Can I just say thank you to all those people tuning in, including Christine Coldwell, also Jack Thorpe as well. Oh yeah, happy St. George's Day. Oh my God, I'd almost forgotten about that. I'm trying to remember, isn't that the 23rd? That's today, isn't it? Yes, happy St. George's Day. I forgot all about St. George's Day. Anyway, thank you for that little reminder, Amanda. I've been in Greece too long. Anyway, Boothie says hello, and thank you, Boothie. I hope you're well. Galimera, Ginge, and again, happy St. George's Day. I remember when we used to do quite a bit for St. George's Day here in because of the lockdown and everything that's gone on, certain dates that we'd have something programmed in, the expats would have their St. George's Day. Because don't forget, St. George is not only the patron saint of the United Kingdom, he's also the patron saint of Greece as well, St. George. And not only that, I thought you might want to know, he's actually Turkish, but we don't talk about that. St. George is actually originally Turkish. But anyway, he is the patron saint of England, and today is St. George's Day. And thank you for that reminder, because I'd totally forgotten about it as well. Also, hello to Sheila. We might see you at Lidl today, Sheila, when we're doing the shopping. Bob Cave as well. Nice to see you. Hilary Rogers, nice to see you. Bob says, good morning, Ginge. Man, they're all talking to each other. Jim Levine up there is looking in as well. And anyway, I'm going to leave it now. Morning, Ginge, from the sunny Pennines. Anyway, I hope it is. Today, the weather is actually looking really nice. So anyway, I'll leave it. I'll get this up online and I'll keep my ear to the ground. Anything I hear, I'll let you know. And don't forget, any requests or dedications, stick them in the comments below. I think because it's St. George's Day, there might be a bit of a British feel to the show. And also as well, I'm going to do a little tribute to the Bay City Rollers. Les McEwen passed away yesterday, only 65 years of age. I was listening to some interviews that he did yesterday online, and that man got screwed over by his agent and everything else, and managed to get his life back together. But bless him, he's passed away yesterday at the age of 65, which is still young, all right, in this day and age. And I'll put some Shangri-La in as well for you, or Shangalang, today in the show. Anyway, I'll go. I'll catch you later. You take care and have a lovely day. Ta-ra.